Then you know the feeling. The wind tore through the olive green leaves, ripping them loose from their branches, sending them spiraling into the air. They twist and dance as they were carried down the narrow street, caught in the current as it whistled low and steady through the night. A quaint little shop came into view. Painted in deep purple, it clashed harshly against the bold streaks of orange that ran across its surface, the colors sitting together in a way that didn't quite settle, like a loaf of bread where every piece lines up the way it should, except for this one that's just slightly off. The wind rushed forward and pressed itself against the door, lingering there, pushing until it gave. The door creaked open. Ding! The bell above it rang sharp and sudden against the quiet. Inside, the air was thick and crowded with color. An array of items filled the space. Dash of red, pensions of orange, scattered blues woven between it all. Spell books laid open across wooden tables. Colored candles burned low on the counters, their wax melting into uneven pools. Trinkets, knives, and objects that looked both delicate and dangerous were scattered throughout, each one seemingly to carry a story it didn't quite want told. Behind the counter sat an old woman, her back hunched forward, curved deep, as if years of standing in that very spot had slowly pulled her down, shaping her into something that belonged to the shop just as much as everything else inside it. A crystal ball struck the counter with a dull and solid thud, the sound ringing out like a gunshot and making the figure flinch, shoulders tightening, body jerking, just enough to betray the quiet. Clear at its center, it was rimmed with the thin band of worn gold that caught the candlelight just enough to glint at the edges. The old woman looked up, her face hard, reminiscent of the stone, cold and unreadable, with a stillness that made it difficult to hold her gaze for too long. Like looking at her too closely might cost you something. Then, slowly, that hardness shifted, softening into a smile. "Oh, child, come in," she said, her voice low and even. "Tell Madame Lair, what is it you seek in her shop?" Her fingers tapped against the counter, long nails, not polished or artificial, but grown, thick, and curved from years of neglect, dancing against the wood in a steady rhythm like she was playing some quiet, unseen piano. As the figure stepped closer, she leaned in, her back cracked, splintering like a 2x4 being torn apart. She didn't react, her eyes widening slightly as she peered forward, studying. Then something shifted. Her breath hitched, her hand stilled as it came over her slowly, like cold hands wrapping around her throat, tightening, pressing inward from the inside out, her fingers twitching as if she wanted to reach for it, to pull it away, but couldn't. "Oh, child," she murmured again, quiet now, the words dragging slightly, like something inside her was resisting the song. Her eyes stayed locked ahead. "What you seek," she said, her voice tightening just enough to strain, "ain't something Madame Lanier can heal." Smoke began to fill the crystal ball as it slowly lit from within, a faint glow building beneath the glass, thickening as it curled and folded into itself. Madame Lanier circled her hands around it, her fingers moving slow and deliberate, the motion almost hypnotic as she leaned in, the light catching along her nails as they passed. "There is a very dark presence around you," she murmured, her voice low and steady, carrying in a way that felt heavier than the room itself. "And if you don't watch yourself," her fingers slowed, hovering just above the glass, "it will consume you." Madame Lanier reached beneath her garments and pulled out a small gold cross, pressing it flat against her chest as if the touch alone might steady something unseen. Her fingers lingering there before easing away. "Come nearer," she said, her voice lowered now, quieter, firm, in a way that carried its own authority, the kind of command that he or she didn't ask to be followed, but was. "I know what you think, and you should not think those thoughts." Her gaze held, fixed, unwavering, pinned to the figure in a way that made it feel impossible to move without her knowing, like even the smallest shift wouldn't go unnoticed. "If you have time," her eyes shifted slowly, deliberately, taking in every inch of the figure before her, studying, measuring, as if weighing something unseen. "Enough time for me to tell you a story." The air seemed to settle as she spoke, her tone shifting into something older, something that carried weight.